Hey, this is Jeff Rose, Certified Financial Planner. When it comes to choosing the right life insurance, there are many different factors that come into play. When I'm working with clients, helping them choose the right life insurance that makes the most sense for them, we want to make sure that we visit these factors. Some of these factors include choosing the right life insurance company, choosing the right amount, choosing the right term. Today I want to visit some of the most important factors and some of the considerations you should have in choosing life insurance for yourself. The first factor that comes into play when choosing the right life insurance is make sure that you're choosing the right life insurance company. But what do you look for? How do you know if it's a good company? You want to check the ratings and make sure that they're a stable company. There are various rating agencies such as AM Best, Moody's, S&P, Weiss. All these different agencies will give these insurance companies a report card rating to show how financially stable they are. Typically, if you're looking for a strong, solid company, you don't want anything below an A- rating. I actually have a link on my blog that actually shows you all the different life insurance companies and their current ratings at all the various agencies. So if you're not sure on the life insurance company, be sure to check that table. The second most important factor when choosing life insurance, which I'm sure is very important to you, is making sure that you get the best quote, the best rate, the cheapest rate. How do you know if you're getting the best rate? If you're using the quote engine on my site, we're using various insurance companies, making sure that we're getting you the best independent quote. You want to make sure that you're using an independent agent. There are other captive agents such as State Farm, Nationwide, country companies, and typically they're quoting their own company's rates. Now you may get a discount if you pile in your auto and home, but typically I've been able to save my clients a lot of money by going the independent route. Another factor that will also have a bearing on your costs is how long are you purchasing the life insurance for, or what's most commonly known as what is the term. Typically you're going to see 10-year, 20-year, and 30-year term policies, although now I have been seeing some 25-year, 40-year term, but most typically I work in the 10 to 30-year period. So depending on your situation, your age, how long you plan on living for, how much debt you have, will determine how long of a term that you get. Now if you saw a previous post of mine, I talk about how I was able to buy a 30-year term policy for myself, and for me 30 years makes a whole lot of sense. And if you're a younger individual, 30 years may make a lot of sense for you too. Now if you're a little bit older in the 40 to 50-year-old range, then maybe a 10 to 20-year policy will be all that you need. Now a neat feature with the quote engine on my site is that you can get all these costs on the 10-year to 30-year, so you can see and compare how much it costs to go from a 10 to a 20 to 30-year term. So the last factor that comes into play, and it's a question that I get all the time, how much life insurance do I need? I wish that there was a blanket answer. There are some general rules of thumb which I'll share here with you real quick. But the first general rule of thumb of how much life insurance that you need to buy is to take your income, multiply it by 10, and that will then determine how much you should buy. Now that's just a general rule of thumb, and if you're young and you're not making a lot of money, then maybe you don't want to buy just 10 times, maybe you want to buy 20 times. Because if you plan on getting raises over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, then obviously what you buy today will not be enough 5 to 10 years from now. Now another way that you can determine how much you need to buy is the method that I use. So I kind of work backwards. I'm a numbers guy. I can do the math thing. So I figured, how much do I want my wife to have as an annual salary in case something happened to me? Then I took that number and I divided it by 5%, thinking that if she invested the money and she could earn at least 5%, that should get her that number. So for us, that magic number was $2 million of term life insurance that we end up buying. As you can see, there are many factors that come into play when choosing the right life insurance for you. If you still have more questions, feel free to contact me at the blog, or if you want to call me direct, you can email me, leave a comment on the site, whatever you need to do to get in contact with me to make sure that you get your questions answered regarding choosing the right life insurance. This is Jeff Rose, Certified Financial Planner. We'll see you soon.